Hello and welcome back to the program, everybody. Interesting, the channel is now called Billionaire Lives Matter, and we believe they matter. We believe they matter. And I hope this will be an educational experience so you will also understand that their lives matter, that you can't treat them like second class citizens. That's ridiculous. And here's one of my favorite billionaires, Jeffrey Epstein, a Rolling Stone article. $100 bills in every car. Epstein employee details Ghislaine Maxwell's demands. As the first week of the trial of Ghislaine Maxwell continues, Juan Alessia, former housekeeper and maintenance worker for Jeffrey Epstein, took the stand to talk about his employment under Epstein and his working relationship with Maxwell, who is facing up to 80 years in prison for allegedly helping Epstein traffic underage girls for sexual abuse. She's pleaded not guilty to all charges. He painted a picture for the jury of an employer who became more withdrawn over the years and who had strange requirements like avoiding eye contact and stocking cars with $100 bills. One of my favorites, technically Howard Hughes was not a billionaire. He was in the hundreds of thousands of dollars range, but he would be the equivalent of a billionaire now, the owner and then the majority stockholder of TWA Airlines, who suffered from obsessive compulsive disorder and had very strange habits and requirements. And that's who he was. He wasn't copying anybody. You didn't want to be known as a eccentric billionaire. He just was, inflicted with a disorder. This stuff is kind of bordering on that. Now, is it intentional? Is it unintentional? We're going to dig deeper into it. Alessi worked for Epstein from 1991 until 2002, overseeing the cleaning, maintenance, and shopping for the house, as well as handling the gardeners and pool staff. He said he met with Maxwell early on in his tenure there, and that his instructions came primarily from her. I understood she was the lady of the house. He said, describing Maxwell as the girlfriend of Mr. Epstein, and when he met her and saying that she told him that she was going to be the lady of the house. Alessi described a panicked process of preparing for Epstein's arrival. He said Maxwell would give the staff notice ranging from a day to just a couple hours in advance. They'd fly into a flurry, doing what he described as extensive preparation. Let's go ahead and minimize that. Cleaning the house, changing sheets in Epstein's bedroom, and all the guest rooms, doing the shopping, and making sure Epstein's cars he kept at the property were stocked with cash, specifically $100 bills in every car. Alessi testified, adding that Maxwell and Epstein ran the house like a five-star hotel, which I worked at one of those. And yes, it is, it's almost like you do have an eccentric billionaire. I was back of house. I was a PBX operator, so I was connecting phone calls from guests to front desk, maintenance, etc. I was like an operator, but within a hotel, and I had to have my uniform cleaned, pressed every single day. I had to drop it off, and they cleaned and pressed it every single day. And if I missed a spot shaving, literally, there was a time I missed a spot shaving, the manager would come and tell me, housekeeping manager, laundry manager would come over and tell me that I had missed a spot shaving and not to let that happen again. And I was not to be seen by guests. If I was seen by a guest, that was like, a really bad thing. But just the off chance, if there was an off chance that I was seen by a guest, I had to be in like immaculate condition. Okay. He also described a gradual change in his employer, Epstein. He also said the relationship was cordial in the beginning, but shifted to become increasingly professional, and the two of them had fewer and fewer in-person conversations in the later years of his employment. Alessi said Maxwell told him only to speak with Epstein, asked him questions, and to avoid eye contact when he spoke to him. Now, that's the stuff that's kind of like Howard Hughes-esque. That's, you can't even look at the guy. You should never look at his eyes, he recalled Maxwell said. Just look at another part of the room and answer him. That is very strange. A lot of people consider that a sign of respect. Epstein sounds like a guy that was easily intimidated. I've got to tell you, from watching that video, him interacting with Trump, he seemed like very shy and insecure. Okay, and he's a billionaire. But that's all I know about him. Unless he spoke about an elaborate messaging communication system Epstein used to make requests of his staff, routing messages through his New York office to Alessio rather than speaking to him in person in the house. I feel that's not incredibly unusual. You know, you're a billionaire, you're running a huge operation there. But if interesting stuff, and please subscribe, share, do everything you can. Weird City Citizen, do everything you can, which is just watch Weird City Citizen. That's all I hope from you. You're the best.